Sir, excuse me, how do you that? We're not. Oh, his watch is broken. No. His watch is broken. He's gone. He left. He just left. We can't sing without a piano player. I can't sing without a Hey, ladies and gentlemen, hey, please excuse, Dave! He has his union break. Or didn't he just have a break? Strong union. Oh yeah. We'll go get him. In the meantime, you can keep the show going. Oh, no, but what will I do? This is not what we practiced.
You can sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, only as a solo, a cappella.
No, please, not Rudolph! Oh, it'll be like your feature. It's really meant to be a solo anyway, to underscore the themes of isolation in a competitive society. Really, the themes will be underscored by the fact that a lone second tenor is making the plaintive statement, thereby creating a symbiotic alliance with those who are lost and alone in the cold, dark night. Yeah. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it was. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. This song has always been so upsetting to me. God, I could never get through it without getting the sweats. You see, I always admired Rudolph. And despite his best efforts, he would never fit in. He was ostracized by his peers. They used to laugh and call him names, and they never let poor Rudolph play in any reindeer games. Well, why didn't Rudolph just say to those narrow-minded bucks, "Fine, I don't want to play your reindeer games. Fine!" What are reindeer games anyway? But he couldn't confront them. Instead, he turned his anger inwards. He beat himself up, and he got so mad at himself, and he felt worthless and low. So very low. And then, one foggy Christmas Eve, when they were desperate for light, Rudolph was their only recourse. They only needed him for his nose. If they could have removed it, they would have, but heck, all of Rudolph came with it. He became their living fog lights. Then all the reindeer loved him and shouted out with glee, "I say too little, too late!" Sorry. You see, Rudolph, he gave up on his hurt and his need for revenge, and he stayed focused on the bigger picture. He said, "Sure, I'll be your headlights. I'll be your high beams or your low beams." You're supposed to use low beams in heavy fog. I never understood that, no matter how many times I watched the Driver's Ed film. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. So my point is, I could never do what Rudolph did. I could never be so selfless. And he was indeed welcomed by the majority, but there was a bittersweetness to his final acceptance, because after that night, he became a beacon, a star. But he was still alone. He stuck out when nobody liked him, and he stuck out when he was a hero. He would never fit in. He would never be truly happy. Rudolph, if you're listening, you would have made a great plaque. Now what about Frosty the Snowman? Does anybody here realize the sheer terror that song evokes? How do you let your children listen to that? Thumpity, thump, thump, thumpity, thump, thump. Look at Frosty go! His heart is pounding in a desperate attempt to outrun the Grim Reaper. His own death, the ultimate meltdown! And don't even get me started on the big brother implications of he knows when you are sleeping and he knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. so sorry. I really am. If I could only think of a Christmas song that I didn't have issues with, then I would stop talking. Oh,